Did you know that some old houses seem to sigh at night? Not a sad sigh, mind you, but more like a sleepy whisper. It's almost like the house is remembering all the folks who've lived there, all their stories, all their laughter. And sometimes, just sometimes, if you listen really close, those whispers tell a tale. Hello there, story listeners. I'm Grandpa Joe.
And I'm Lily. I'm 6.
And welcome to our little chat corner, our very own podcast adventure. We're so happy you've decided to join us. Today, Lily and I are going on a bit of a spooky and maybe not so spooky journey. We're going to be talking about ghosts.
Oh, real ghosts, Grandpa. The floaty kind.
Well, we'll talk about those, the ones that go boo in storybooks. But we're also going to chat about another kind of ghost, the happy ghosts of our memories, the stories of family from long, long ago. You can think of them as invisible smiles that just kind of hang around in the places we love. We'll be sharing some questions, hopefully some answers, plenty of stories, and of course a giggle or two. Are you ready for an adventure, Lily Bean?
Ready. Are you going to tell a super scary story?
We'll aim for spooky fun, not hide under the covers. Scary. The best stories are the ones that give you a little shiver, then make you smile. And you know what else makes us smile?
Jokes.
Exactly. So, how about we kick things off with our joke exchange? You go first today, my little comedian.
Okay. Grandpa, why did the ghost keep getting lost in the fog?
Why did the ghost keep getting lost in the fog? I'm stumped on that one.
Because he was an absent-minded spooktator.
Oh, that's a good one, an absent-minded spooktator. I like that. All right, my turn. Why don't ghosts like rain?
Why? Do they melt?
Quite. It's because it dampens their spirits.
Oh, Grandpa, that's a good one too. Dampens their spirits.
Glad you liked it. It's always good to start with a laugh. Now that our spirits are officially not dampened, how about we tiptoe into our first story? This one is a little bit spooky, but mostly curious.
Okay, I'm ready. Is it about a haunted house?
It is, in a way. This happened when I was just a bit older than you, maybe 7 or 8. My family had gone to visit my great-aunt Clara. She lived in a very old farmhouse, you know, the kind with creaky wooden floors and long, shadowy hallways.
Did it have an attic? Spooky stories always have attics.
It certainly did. A big, dusty attic filled with all sorts of forgotten things. Well, one afternoon, I was exploring upstairs. My cousins were playing outside, but I was always a bit of a wanderer. I found a little music box on a dusty old dresser. It was shaped like a tiny ballerina. I wound it up, and it played the prettiest, tinkliest tune.
Was it a ghost's music box?
Well, here's the thing. I played it once, and then I put it down. Later that evening, when everyone was downstairs having supper, we all heard it. Faintly at first, then clearer. The music box was playing, all by itself.
No way. Did someone else wind it up?
That's what everyone thought. My Uncle Ben went upstairs, grumbling about kids leaving things on. He came back down, looking a bit puzzled. It wasn't wound, he said. It just started. We all just looked at each other. Great-Aunt Clara just smiled this funny little smile and said, "Oh, that's just Alara. She loves that music box."
Who's Alara? Was she a ghost?
According to Aunt Clara, Alara was a little girl who used to live in the house 100 years before. She loved ballet and music boxes. Aunt Clara said sometimes if you were very quiet, you could almost hear her humming along to the tune. She wasn't a scary ghost, Aunt Clara said, just a little girl who liked her music.
Wow, did you hear her humming?
I listened really hard. I didn't hear humming, but later that night, as I was tucked into bed in a guest room, I heard the music box play again, just for a few seconds. It was soft and gentle. It didn't scare me. It felt like a little secret, a whisper from the past.
So, the house remembered Alara. That's a nice kind of ghost, not a spooky, scary one.
Exactly. A memory that played a tune. Sometimes, Lily, things aren't always what they seem. What seems spooky at first might just be a story waiting to be understood, or in this case, a tune waiting to be heard.
I like that story. Can I ask you some questions now, Grandpa, about other memory ghosts?
Of course, sweet pea. That's what we're here for. Ask away.
Okay. You said Great Aunt Clara knew about Alara. Did she tell you stories about other ghosts in her house? Or maybe in our family? Like, are there any ghosts from when you were little that you remember someone telling you about? Not just sounds, but like stories of people?
That's a great question, Lily. Well, my own grandmother, your great-great-grandmother, used to tell stories about what she called house spirits. She didn't mean scary ghosts, but more like the feeling of a house. She believed that houses soaked up the feelings of the people who lived in them. If a house was full of laughter and kindness for many years, it would have a happy spirit. And if it was a place of sadness, well, it might feel a bit gloomy.
So, if we're really happy in our house, does it make our house have a happy spirit?
I believe it does. Every time you laugh, or we read a story together, or you build an amazing tower with your blocks, you're adding to the happy spirit of our home. As for specific family ghosts in terms of stories, my grandmother used to talk about her older brother Michael. He was a bit of a prankster, a real joker when he was a young man. He passed away before I was born, so I never met him. But she would tell stories about his antics, how he once hid all the shoes in the house just before everyone had to leave for a wedding, or how he taught their pet parrot to say silly phrases at the most embarrassing times.
He sounds funny.
He was, from what everyone said. And Grandma would say, sometimes when something mischievous happens, like a door creaking open on its own or an object falling off a shelf for no reason, I just smile and say, "All right, Michael, behave yourself." She didn't really think it was his ghost doing it, not in a scary way. It was more like, remembering his playful spirit made her smile, and it was a way to keep his memory alive and fun. So, in a way, his ghost was the memory of his laughter and his pranks.
So, even if they're not here, we can remember them and it's like a little visit?
Precisely. Their stories, their jokes, the things they loved, they become little echoes, little friendly ghosts that remind us of them. It's a way of keeping them close in our hearts. Do you have a story, maybe a pretend one, about a friendly ghost, Lily? Or perhaps a question about something you've wondered about ghosts?
Well, sometimes in my room when it's really quiet, I hear a tiny creak. Maybe it's my friendly toy ghost, Sir Reginald Fluffington. He's not scary. He just likes to check if my toys are all tucked in.
Sir Reginald Fluffington, I love that, see? You've got your own friendly spirit in your room making sure everything is cozy. That's a wonderful way to think about it. Those little creaks and sounds can be friends, not frights. Now, speaking of family members from the past, I have another story about a family ghost, someone whose presence was felt long after they were gone, but in a very heartwarming way.
Ooh, tell me! Was it a funny ghost like Michael? Or a musical one like Alara?
This one was more of a comforting ghost, a ghost of kindness. This is about your great-grandmother, my mother. She loved to bake. Her specialty was apple pie. The whole house would fill up with the scent of cinnamon and baked apples whenever she made one, which was pretty often, especially in the autumn.
I love apple pie. Did she teach you how to make it?
She did. She taught me very carefully. She had this old handwritten recipe card, stained with flour and bits of ancient butter, probably. And she'd always say, "The secret, Joe, isn't just the ingredients. It's the love you put into it." A little cheesy, I know, but she meant it. Well, after she passed away, for the longest time, I couldn't bring myself to make her apple pie. It felt too hers.
That makes me a bit sad for you, Grandpa.
It was sad for a while. But then, one Thanksgiving, Your Aunt Carol, my sister, said, "Dad, we need Mom's apple pie. You're the only one who knows the real recipe, the real way." I was hesitant, but I pulled out that old stained recipe card. As I started gathering the ingredients, the flour, the cinnamon, the apples, a funny thing happened. I started to smell it.
Smell the pie, but you hadn't baked it yet.
Exactly. It was just a faint scent, cinnamon mostly. I thought I was imagining it, but as I rolled out the dough, just like she taught me, the scent got a little stronger. It was like she was there just over my shoulder, guiding my hands, whispering, "A little more cinnamon, Joe. Don't forget the pinch of nutmeg."
Wow, her baking ghost.
Her baking spirit, perhaps. And when that pie came out of the oven, Lily, it looked and smelled exactly like hers. The whole family said it was the best apple pie I'd ever made. And you know, every time I make that apple pie now, especially when I use her old recipe card, I get that little phantom scent of cinnamon before I even begin. It's not spooky. It's like a warm hug from the past. It's her way of saying hello and making sure I don't forget the nutmeg.
So her memory is like a recipe for happiness.
That's a beautiful way to put it, Lily. A recipe for happiness passed down. These family ghosts, these memories and stories, they're treasures. They connect us to where we came from, and they remind us of the love that's been part of our family for generations. They're not about chains rattling or spooky shadows in the dark. They're about the enduring warmth of connection.
I like family ghosts better than scary ghosts. Can we tell more jokes now? The spooky stories made me think of a spooky joke.
Absolutely. Let's have it. A spooky joke to lighten the mood further sounds perfect.
Okay. What do you call a ghost's true love?
A ghost's true love? Is it his ghoul friend?
Yes, his ghoul friend.
Ah, a classic. Very good, Lily Bean. You know, all this talk of stories and memories reminds me of how important it is to share them, just like we're doing now. Well, Lily, it feels like our adventure for today is drawing to a close. We've talked about musical ghosts, mischievous memory spirits, and comforting kitchen aromas from the past. And we've shared some truly excellent jokes, if I do say so myself.
Sir Reginald Fluffington says thank you for listening too.
I'm sure he does. And a big thank you to all of you listening in. We've had so much fun sharing our stories and giggles with you. We believe that everyone has stories worth telling, and maybe even a friendly family ghost or two in their own history.
Yeah, tell us your stories.
That's a great idea, Lily. If you're listening, we'd love it if you shared your own ghost stories, or perhaps a funny family memory, or even your favorite joke in the comments wherever you're listening. We read them, and who knows, maybe your joke will inspire us for our next joke swap.
Or tell us about your own Sir Reginald Fluffington.
Absolutely. And if you enjoyed our little chat today, please consider giving us a follow or a good rating. It helps other people find our stories. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next adventure. We've got plenty more questions to ask, stories to tell, and of course, jokes to share.
Next time, can we talk about funny animal stories? Or maybe treasure maps?
Those are both fantastic ideas, Lily. We'll certainly have to think about that. Perhaps a treasure map leading to a trove of funny animal tales. For our listeners, if you have any topics you'd love for a grandpa and granddaughter to chat about, let us know in the comments too. All right, that's all the spooky, silly, and sweet stories we have for you today. Thanks for joining our little family podcast. Remember to listen for the whispers of your own family stories.
And don't forget to laugh. Bye-bye, everyone.
Until next time, keep sharing those stories and keep smiling. Bye for now.